Hello everyone, it is Candy Mommy here, and I will be talking to you about something that is very personal to me. I will be talking to you about failing the Appalachian Trail. So that is why Jonathan will not be in our video today, so it'll just be me and you. So let's get started. Welcome back everyone. So again, it is Candy Mama here, and I will be talking to you about failing the Appalachian Trail. Yes, it sucks and it stinks. I hope to help some of you that are struggling, because I was struggling. I felt like no one understood my struggle, and I looked for articles and videos all over about people that failed their thru hike, and I didn't find anything. Even though 75% of us don't finish a thru hike, there wasn't resources for people like us that failed it. So I also want to mention, sometimes failure catapults people to success. Some famous failures, just to go over that. Bill Gates was a failure in high school, I believe. Albert Einstein, very smart, he was a failure. Beyonce, Tina Fey, all failures, and look at them now. So a little bit about my Appalachian Trail story. It started a pretty long time ago. I was interested in the Appalachian Trail in about 2013-14. I was in my dorm room and I watched a documentary about it, and I became enthralled with the Appalachian Trail. That's all I wanted to do after school, was to hike the Appalachian Trail. And so after school, I got my money together, I got all my gear together, and I did all the research I could. Me and Jonathan were dating at the time, and I got on the trail. And for 8 days, I had the worst anxiety I've ever felt. By the 8th morning, I woke up with severe chest pains, and I was in the middle of a pretty bad anxiety attack. I decided at that moment, I called Jonathan up, and we talked, and it was a pretty terrible feeling. I decided to call my grandparents, who were about 30 minutes to an hour away, to come pick me up. And at that point, I decided my thru hike was over. So that is my 2017 thru hike failure. It was a long time waited. I had prepared for my thru hike for a long time. I had told so many people that I was going to thru hike. I had told family and friends. My mom was telling everyone, and everyone was so excited for me, and I failed. And that wasn't a great feeling. Some reasons why I think I failed now, that's 2019, and I can kind of think about all of that. Some reasons why I think I failed. I think I had high expectations for the trail. I think I was not mentally prepared for the Appalachian Trail. I was overwhelmed. I missed family and friends. I had severe anxiety that was not dealt with, and all of those things came to a boiling point to where it just caused me to have an anxiety attack and boil over. Some after effects after I got home were depression and anxiety. I felt like a failure, and I also lost a lot of pride in myself, and I was embarrassed. I was very embarrassed to talk to anyone about my thru hike, because all they knew was that I was going to go on this amazing adventure, and I was going to find myself, and I was going to hike and get to go on this incredible journey. And I didn't. I failed. So eventually I did get back on my feet. It took a little bit, but how I got my feet was I got back into a routine. It was still tough to get on Instagram though and Facebook and see everyone doing the Appalachian Trail and doing something I wanted to do and be out there and experience, because all I saw on Instagram, keep in mind, were the great moments and the beautiful scenery. I didn't see the rainy days. I didn't see the anxiety that other people are feeling. All I saw were the great moments. I also told myself I was going to be a section hiker. I wasn't going to be a thru hiker. I was going to be a section hiker. And so I kept telling myself that, and I became content with that. But I also, most importantly, didn't close myself off to the idea of being a thru hiker. I still, in my heart, really wanted to do the Appalachian Trail in one big stretch as a thru hiker. and I didn't want to be a section hiker. So 2 years went by, and during those 2 years, I worked on myself. I worked on my anxiety, which was a big factor on why I stepped off the Appalachian Trail. I worked on some coping mechanisms. I worked on why I feel anxious at certain times. I also asked my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband, Sheriff, to hike alongside of me, and he said yes. So that created an advocate for me if we were ever to thru hike. So I had somebody there with me. I also made a solid plan to get back on the Appalachian Trail. I told myself, this is when I want to do it. I do want to get back on. And this is when I think I want to try again. So I told myself 2019, here we go. We also saved up money again, which was pretty tough, but we did it. We researched gear and we went on section hikes. And through that time, it really helped me gain my confidence back up. It helped me work on my anxiety, which was still pretty bad, but I felt a little more confident. I also had an advocate, Sheriff, with me. And one key thing is I did more mental preparation. So in 2017, I did not mentally prepare at all. I focused on the great things about the Appalachian Trail, the beautiful views and the great people I'd meet, and all the experiences that I would see and experience. I didn't focus on the rain. I didn't focus on missing my friends and family. I didn't focus on the hard questions that a lot of thru hikers have to deal with. So this time around, that 2 year span, I focused on, okay, what do I do in this situation? What do I do when my anxiety gets bad here? Just different questions. And honestly, when I stepped on the Appalachian Trail in 2019, I was more nervous and cautious than I was ever before. I was very cautious about my anxiety. I was very cautious about the rain and the weather and how I'd feel with that. And I feel like that really helped me in the end. You know the end of the story. You've seen the videos. We did finish the Appalachian Trail alongside my husband and some family members. We finished every section, every mile, and did it all, and it was amazing. And I'm so glad I went back, and I honestly so glad I didn't do the hike in 2017 because I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much as I did in 2019. So now that you've heard my entire story and my experience, I also want to include some advice for all of y'all that might be experiencing the feelings after failing or quitting a thru hike. One key piece of advice for anyone in that situation is to do a post-mortem as early as possible. So post-mortem is essentially a list that helps you understand what happened and what went wrong and what caused the failure. It's kind of nice to see on those days that you think you could have kept going. It's kind of like a breakup. If you broke up with somebody and you look at the list of things that went wrong, you're like, okay, that made sense why I got off the trail. I was having a lot of pain in my foot. That makes sense. So you don't feel bad at the end of the day. You're not like, oh, dang it, I should have kept going, and you don't beat yourself up. A post-mortem really helps with feeling okay with your decision. The post-mortem will really help you understand what went wrong with your thru hike, and it will also help you to prepare for the future if you do decide to do another thru hike. So I also want to say that you want to be confident in your decision to stop your thru hike. I think it's important to respect that person that you were on the trail that said, okay, this is it. I'm not going to complete this. And I think it's okay to be confident in that decision. And there was a reason you chose that, and you need to understand that. I didn't quite understand that, but I went on section hikes after I failed the Appalachian Trail to understand that. And once I went on those section hikes, I think I went for like 2 weeks with some friends who were thru hiking in 2017, and I really understood, okay, this is not my year. I really need to stick with my family and friends at this time and be around the support I need. I would also make a plan and assess your choices. So choices as in, will I thru hike in a year, 2 years, 5 years? I will make, you should make a plan for that. Even if that includes, I'm not going to thru hike, you still have a plan for your future. Alright, so another thing is, know that this isn't the end. If you have a will, there is a way. Low backstory, when I failed the Appalachian Trail, I believed in my head that it was never going to happen again. Like I said, I was depressed and I was anxious, and I wholly believed that the Appalachian Trail was never going to be a thru hike for me. It was maybe going to be a section hike, maybe, but it was never going to be a thru hike. But the reality was that it was just the wrong timing. It wasn't my year. And my year was actually 2019. It was always something that I wanted to do. I wanted to always hike the Appalachian Trail. And we found a way. We made it happen. It didn't happen the year I was first thinking it would happen, but it happened eventually. And I'm so glad it happened in 2019. A couple other things is, feel those feelings. It hurts and it's terrible and you might feel like crap. Yeah, it hurts to feel like a failure. But the failure does not define you. Just remember that. You are not defined by the failure. Tell everyone. Let them know what happened. Be honest with people and don't bottle that up. Let them know how you feel, because that'll help you process things further. So definitely don't bottle that up. Last and most important, take a break. Take a break from the Appalachian Trail and all this working and planning for it, and all this anxiety you're probably feeling, and all these feelings that you're feeling of not finishing the Appalachian Trail. Just take a break from that. And, if that includes sitting on your couch and watching a movie for a night, or if that includes going to the beach, just take your time and take a break from all of that. You deserve it. And eventually you'll get back to there. You'll get back to where you can start playing again, or you can get back to the routine of going back to work, or doing whatever it is in between or after, or wherever you are in that. You just need to take a break right now, and I think that's fine to tell people. That's fine, because you have the money and you have the time, so why not just go on a vacation or a break? Anyways, so that is my advice to you on failing an Appalachian Trail thru hike. I've been there, and I would love to talk to any of you through personal message or in the comments below about how I got back or how I was feeling during the failing of the thru hike. Just reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. Just thank you for tuning in and listening to me talk about this. This is something I'm very passionate about, and I do want to help people, and I hope it did help some of you process these feelings. If you do have any questions, like I said before, just reach out to me. I am very happy to talk to you. And so that's it for right now. Next video you'll see is probably me and Jonathan. But yeah, have a good evening. Bye.